We are always excited on Fridays to give a little shine to high school football as much as we can. Worked out we could do that this week. Got a big matchup tonight, as it is an EPC game, North Pitt, and our friend Coach C.J. Wilson, the Panthers, hosting 4-0 Greene Central. Little Greene County shout out there.
Yes, sir.
Jay Wilson is the coach of GC, and he joins us here on a game day. Coach, thanks for taking a few minutes with us. So, yeah, North Pitt, there are people, north of the river here in Pitt County, but we got to give a little love to our area teams, too, that are doing well, and you guys are off to a fantastic start.
Yes, sir. And I definitely appreciate the love. I'm glad you guys reached over the county line and we get to shake hands for a little bit. We're definitely off to a good start. 4-0. The first time third time in program history. My first time ever being in that situation. So we're feeling as good as we think we should feel right now, but we know we still have a long season ahead of us.
Coach, how long have you been there in Snow Hills, the head man?
This is my fourth year. I took over for Alan Wooten when he left to go to Havelock. Alan Wooten, I think he's a North Pitt legend. But definitely, I took over for him. I spent 2 years with him and then took over after he left.
Now, where were you before Greene Central?
I was at Goldsboro High School. I coached 3 years under Bennett Johnson over at Goldsboro High School.
So take me back there. How'd you get started in what's your first football memory, high school, college, and what made you decide to get into coach? Take me through the whole nine here.
Oh, man, I got to take you all the way back to 1992. I graduated from Princeton High School back in 96.
All right, now, wait a minute. Was Princeton running that whack offense when – no, I shouldn't say that. Coach will get mad at me for saying that. But they weren't running that old-fashioned offense when you were there.
No. We were running the power eye. We ran a little tight end stuff. No, we didn't run the single wing and the things that they're being successful with right now.
Or whatever they call the quarterback there.
Yeah, it's something different, but it's effective, so you really can't go against it.
All right, so you graduate Princeton. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I graduated from Princeton. Ross Renfro was my head coach, and he's probably the reason why I wanted to become the coach football in the first place. He gave me a great start in life. He gave me a lot of life lessons, and then I earned a scholarship and went to North Carolina A&T. I got a lot of academic money and a little athletic money, and I was able to finagle that into 3 good years of football at A&T. Graduated from there and then started my coaching career in Greensboro. I coached at the middle school that fed into Dudley High School. And then I spent 7 or 8 years up there and then matriculated my way back home, and I've had a few stops here and there. And now I'm here in Greene County and loving life and trying to do the best I can for the kids over here in Snow Hill.
You probably had some talent roll through that feeder to Dudley, I imagine.
Oh, listen. I had some middle school teams that I would be more than happy to get up against some JV and a few varsity squads from back in the day. I remember I looked up one time and I had wound up coaching, I think it was 8 or 9 guys who wound up going Division I when they were in middle school. So I really got my feet wet with dealing with talent and dealing with athletes.
You got to have a quarterback. And you've got Wilkes Thomas. Mm-hmm. He's had a nice little run for you to start the season here.
Yes.
For the Rams, 7 touchdowns versus 1 INT. So, Coach, give us a little bit on him, and then just name some names. Any other players you want to give some props to?
Wilkes, great talent. But I think the biggest part about him is he's really, really even-keeled. I've seen him throw touchdowns and jog it on over to the bench, and I've seen him get waylaid, jog it on over to the bench, and he helps keep our offense, right on pace and right on track. He's throwing to some really, really good targets. John Willis, we call him John. He has a standing offer from Navy, from North Carolina A&T, and from Johnson C. Smith at this moment, and he's got some looks at some other schools who are still kind of waiting in the wings to look at some other things. And then he's also throwing the Pooh, which is Jamari Coppage. Jamari's probably one of the best two-way players in this area, and I'll stand on that, and I'll put my hat on that one. As far as a defender and as far as a receiver, he's played receiver, he's played running back, he's played slot, he kicks off, he punts. He catches the deep ball. It is what it is. Pooh is an amazing football player. Up front, offensive line wise, 2.0, Jalen Mitchell. So when I call these guys by their nickname, that's all I ever know them by.
That's all right. No, that's good.
But 2.0, Jalen Mitchell's first year guy playing O-line. He's really doing a great job. Also with Tyleek Wooten, who's the anchor, senior guy on that O-line, along with Noah Aycock and Chavis, who's a young pup. Also with Campbell. So our O-line is doing a great job. Justice, who is out right now with a little elbow injury, but we should be getting him back and hopefully in a few weeks to add a little bit more pump to the offense. But we're just gonna keep doing what we do offensively and keep trying to put up the points on the board.
Jay Wilson is the coach of Greene Central, and he's with us here on the Patrick Johnson Show. They play North Pitt, in the opener of the EPC. Let me ask you this: do you like the way the conference is kind of currently constructed? Are you digging that or what? Feel free. It's just you, me, and Ben here talking. So
just us three. Yeah, no doubt. No, I mean, I can't be mad at it. I think there's some good rivalries that are already inside of it. Of course, our rivalry with Farmville Central, it doesn't matter. One could be 4A and one could be 1A, and it's still gonna be a rivalry game. So that kind of adds a little spice to the end of the season. That trip to Washington and West Craven, that's a good little hump, and that cuts into my fuel budget. But I mean, it's a good night every night in the EPC. There's not a night where you can kind of go in and say, yeah, guys, we're supposed to do this, and then we'll be done, and by half. And there aren't any nights like that. Everybody's going to come to play. Everybody's going to give you the best shot. There's a lot of good coaches in the conference, so that you've got a scheme and make sure that you're ready for whatever's getting ready to happen that night. So, other than the drive way out there to Washington, West, if we could meet somewhere in the middle of the play, I think I'd be all right. But it's fine. It's a good conference. It really is.
So, Coach, Greene Central over the years, you think about it, obviously baseball.
Yeah,
they've had very good basketball. They've had some good girls basketball teams. Maybe not so much recently, but you go back several years, they had some good teams. I know they've had great history in tennis. And the football history is not so bad either. I mean, there's been some deep runs in football. So, I think as we see other kind of community-based schools go through their ebbs and flows, and a lot of them, they're kind of ebbing away still, unable to get it going for whatever reason. It seems like you guys over at Greene Central have always kind of maintained a pretty good consistency, by and large, with your athletics. So what would you attribute all that to?
Well, I mean, one of the first things is that, everybody that goes through Greene County schools, you're going to play for Greene Central High School unless you, maybe go to you have to go out of the county to play for someone else. So, I think some of the coaches before myself, and it's something I'm doing a lot of, is that I'm going to go trying to find the guys when they're in 3rd, 4th, 5th grade. We're going to be going over to the middle school game, whenever they play, so that the guys can see our face and have a good relationship with the middle school coach and have a good relationship with the rec league coaches and say, all right, guys, the one day we want you to be on the big Ram squad. Right now you're on the baby Rams or the little Rams or the whatever. But one day, we want you to put on that blue helmet and come out here and play for us. And so I think that's what it is. And then, small town, your uncle played for us, your grandfather played, your dad played, your mom's ex-boyfriend, he played too, whatever. So, so it's kind of the expectation. If you pick up a football, then we need to see you out here on Friday night at 140 Snow Hill Drive, go and do your thing.
This is just great. This has been excellent talking to Coach Wilson here. All right, give me your thoughts on playing North Pitt. This isn't the North Pitt of old. Of course, our good friend, the ex-Pirate, the Super Bowl champ, C.J. Wilson, took over the program, and they've got a nice little foundation going. It's going to be a tough game. You all taking them on in Bethel.
Definitely. Me and CJ probably cousins. You know what I'm saying? Wilson and Wilson. I got to look down the family.
No. We tried this. I thought CJ told us one time that he and Jaira Wilson were cousins, and I might as well have told Jaira Wilson. I might as well have had 3 heads when I told Jaira Wilson that, because he looked at me like I had no idea what I was talking about. But I'll go with it, Coach. So it's a cousin rivalry tonight. We
There
love
you go.
that.
You know what I'm
A
saying?
family feud. I like it.
The battle for the plate at the cookout. I don't know what it is, but you know, with his pedigree and what I saw last year when he kind of came into the program, and you started seeing his footprint and his handprints on the program, and they're going to be well coached. They're going to know what they're going to be doing. They're going to come out here with a game plan. He's going to have watch film. He's going to know what we like to do and try and take that away from us. North Pitt's going to have athletes coming out the wazoo. I think some games they look up in the stands and be like, "Hey, come here, young man. Come on down here and run this 4.240 real quick and go see if you can't score a touchdown." But you just know that going in, so you know you have to be prepared. You have to be ready. And then you got to be ready for a dogfight. It's over there. I mean, I told the boys like I told the boys yesterday. They came over last night. You know what I'm saying? Last year, excuse me. Mm-hmm. And they gave us a pretty good shellac, and they beat us around the field. And so their guys haven't forgot that. So they're gonna walk into that game with that kind of confidence, like, yo, these are the same dudes we smacked around last year. So let's go ahead and get this money too. So that's what you have to kind of prepare for.
Coach Jay Wilson, his Greene Central Rams are 4-0. They opened conference play tonight. They shut out North Lenoir, beat Kinston, Wallop, Benningfield, then shut out Eastern Wayne. So they're on quite a run as they come in. And that big Farmville game will be the one that wraps up the season for Greene Central. So they'd get a week off before the playoffs would start. But they got North Pitt tonight, back at home next week against Southwest.
Yes.
At Ayden, at Washington, and then back-to-back home games against West Craven and Farmville Central in the middle part of October. That's the slate for the Rams. Did you give any thought? Well, there's probably no way you could do this, that you could play on that last day, because you would have had to have matched it up with somebody else, and you don't know who's off on. It's very rare to have the last game or last week off as your bye week. I guess it's just them's the breaks, as they say.
Yeah. We drew straws that very first year we got in the conference, and I don't know if I got the long straw or the short straw, but I got the straw.
You didn't get the right one. That's
So but last year it actually worked out pretty good for us. We were able to rest that last week of the season. We got a couple guys that have been, bumps and bruises or whatever. They were able to take that last week kind of easy and then get ready for the playoff game. So, that's sort of the catch-22 part of it is, we're going straight through, but at the end we get a little week to kind of relax a little bit and, nurse up some things, and then even have an opportunity to say, hey, based on this is who we might play. So let's go ahead and, maybe we can get some information or go see them live on the hoof, down that way.
So you played at A&T, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Aggie Eagle, give me your best memory.
I redshirted my freshman year, of course.
Come on, Coach. That can't be your best memory. You were the
no.
Come on.
I'm a storyteller. I gotta build a crescendo up.
I got you.
So my sophomore year, and this is back when we were still playing at Carter Finn. We were still playing at NC State.
Yeah.
And so I'm poo butt freshman, redshirt freshman from Princeton, North Carolina. Probably the biggest crowd I ever played in was maybe 600 people. So I'm okay. So we go out for the warm-ups. I catch a few balls. I look around the stands. It's okay. I'm like, wow, there's a lot of people here. We go back in. We come back out for the second round of warm-ups. Now it's team. Now you got your shoulder pads and your helmet on. And I'm like, yo, it's a lot of people in these stands. Wait a minute. It's more people that's in Princeton than I think in the stands. We go back in. Bill Hayes gives us this great motivational speech. He's got the James Brown, it's the big playback playing in the background.
Yeah.
He's telling us that, hey, A&T, da. When we come back out, I've never felt like throwing up during the game. I've never felt like throwing up. We come back out, and now Central's band is there. A&T's band is on the other side. I feel like they have megaphones on the end of their instruments. It's so loud. We're walking out. So our stadium goes, and Central comes out, and their side, and I'm talking about goosebumps. My stomach was hurting. My eyes were blinking. I felt like crying. I was just like, oh God, I want to go back in the locker room. It was so many people. And I was like, Wow. And finally, one of the older guys, he like slapped me on the back. It was like, "Hey, rookie, get your mind right." Okay. But it was just that moment where you realize like how big that game was and how much it meant. And it was just I never wanted, I didn't throw up, but I wanted to. Bad. Bad.
Coach Jay Wilson, I hope you'll come back and do the show with us again another time. This was great.
Hey, anytime. You send me the message and I got you, and it's never a problem.